This is part 2 of my Urban EDC Backpack video. If you haven't watched part 1, make sure you go back and check that one out before moving on to this one. This one will make a little bit more sense then. So let's move on to my compartments. Here are the items I include in my office compartment. For my office compartment I use the Maxpedition EDC Pocket Organizer. So opening up in the front here, I carry a little eyeglasses cloth, clean your glasses, clean the lens of your camera, things like that. And then I carry some stamps. I usually have 2 stamps in the front. Right now I just have one because I used the other one yesterday. So let's open it up. And this is pretty standard to some of the other ones you'll see on YouTube, but I'll go through mine. So over here on the left I have the Zebra F701 pen. I've done a review of this one. It's a great little pen. I carry 2 of these Pentel 0.9mm mechanical pencils. They're my favorite mechanical pencil to use. I carry a Sharpie, 2 highlighters that I use for work. Over here is the Streamlight Stylus Pro, a nice little flashlight to have. I also have the Stanley 4-in-1 pocket screwdriver set. This comes in handy all the time for different laptops repairs and things like that. Here's a Kingston 8GB flash drive. I always like having flash drives around as well. I carry one of the little mini Bics in here as well. Okay, and going in the back here. So it has this little, I don't know what to call it, this hook over here. So what I do is I carry 2 backup spare keys in here. So a couple different house keys and things like that. So I like carrying those in right there. And then in the back here as well, I carry $100 cash with me. So, and I have them in a variety of different bills. So I have 21s, some 5s, some 10s, and some 20s. So that's just some kind of emergency or backup cash just in case I ever need it. Also in the back here I carry usually 2 envelopes. Right now I just have 1 envelope because I used it yesterday. So also going in the back here I have this is a little moleskin notepad that I use that I write stuff in. I really like this Moleskin brand. It's really nice. So, and then I also carry some paper clips with me. I always find that it's handy to have some paper clips on you at all time. I also have some little paper clips here as well. They're kind of for the thicker, if you have a bunch of paper, they kind of help out, and they're kind of handy just to have as like little mini clamps whenever you kind of need to have those randomly. So over here, a lot of you guys have the duct tape rolls with the Gorilla Tape. This is actually gaffer's tape, and I like using this because a lot of the times when I need to have tape, I need to tape it but not have it be permanent, and with the duct tape it kind of leaves a little bit of residue. So the gaffer's tape is very handy, especially for musicians and guys that run sound, because it doesn't really leave any kind of residue on whatever you're putting it on. So, but it's extremely strong as well, kind of like duct tape. So this is a little, I don't know, 6 feet of gaffer's tape wrapped around a credit card. And then last but not least, I carry about, I don't know, 8 zip ties with me. So, and I find that these come in handy all the time for random reasons. So those are the items that I carry in my office compartment. Here are the items that I carry in my electrical compartment. Now this is one of the more used compartments in my Urban EDC bag, so I chose a blue Eagle Creek quarter cube pack just so it's nice and bright so I can see it really quickly. So let's get started. So the first item that I'll show you, this is just the AC power cord for my netbook. So I carry that with me. The main item of this compartment is the Belkin Mini Surge Protector Dual USB Charger. This comes in extremely handy, especially if you travel a lot, if you work in coffee shops or from hotels. This thing is very nice to have. You could charge all your devices from it, your USB devices as well, and it's just a nice little compact surge protector. So I carry that with me. So next I have a bunch of different cables. So this is a micro USB cable. I also have a mini USB cable for different devices. And here is the cable for my Jawbone Bluetooth headset. So Jawbone Bluetooth headset, and then the cable that charges it as well. Last little devices I have in here, I have an extra little SD card as well that I use for the camera that I'm filming with. So I like having an extra SD card with me. And then last but not least, this is the SanDisk Micromate. This is an SD card reader that you could plug into different devices that don't have an SD card reader in it. So these kind of go in pair a little bit sometimes. So, just go through USB, put your SD card in there, and then you could really attach it to any computer even if it doesn't have an SD card reader with it. And those are the items that I carry in my electrical compartment. Here are the items that I carry in my food compartment. So this compartment isn't meant as any kind of 72-hour survival cache or anything like that. It's just meant as a snacks compartment to help me get through the day. So open it up. So first I carry 3 Cliff Bars with me, and the flavors they vary depending on what I have, but I enjoy all these flavors. Next, I like to carry about 2 of these little energy gels, and the flavors usually change depending on what I happen to buy, but I just like having these on me when needed. Next, I carry 2 of these little Gatorade packets with me for hydration. If water's just not cutting it at all, I might mix it up and use this Gatorade packet in conjunction with my Clean Canteen water bottle. Next, I carry 5 of these Starbucks Vias with me, and yes, they are decaf. I find that these are a pretty nice little substitute for going to a real Starbucks. So 5 Starbucks Vias. Next, I carry an extra little thing of mints, Altoid mints. I have mints all over the place, but I like them, so that's why I carry them. So a little mints pack. And then I also carry 4 tea bags, and I use these just in case I decide I don't want to have coffee for the day. I'll mix it up and have some tea. And so those are the items that I carry in my food compartment. Let's go through the items of my hygiene compartment. Again, it's the Eagle Creek quarter cube pack, my favorite little EDC pack to use. And so this is just basically kind of like a little travel bathroom kit that I use at work and when going for out-of-town business trips, and then it's just nice to have in general as well. So some of these aren't always used every day, but I find them handy. So first, they're kind of in random order. Here's a little mini toothbrush. Carry some chapstick. Dental floss. Here's some Eucerin daily moisturizer. I use them for my hands because my hands get a little ashy. Next, I carry some Q-tips with me. Here's some Purell hand sanitizer. I'm sure you already noticed this one, but yes, I do carry 1 tampon with me, and no, it's not a blood stopper module. This is just in case of emergency for Miss Urban Prepper, so I have one of these on me to save the day. Here's some toothpaste. I also carry one of these little Tide to Go stain remover things, so because I find that especially with Baby Prepper, he's often getting stains, so I just kind of found that I like having this with me, so Tide to Go. I also carry some tweezers. These are a little dual set, one with a little needle nose tweezers, and then just a standard flat tweezer set. So these are fairly cheap, but I really like having some tweezers on me as well. The needle nose has come in handy for some computer repair stuff. So here's some tweezers, 2 sets. I also carry some nail clippers with me. I started carrying this Cottonelle. It's a flushable moist wipe. I was carrying the wet ones before, but I found that I could use these as a backup wipes for Baby Prepper, so that's why I started carrying these ones with me, and you could flush them. Next, I carry these little individual packs of wet ones for wiping things down, mainly. Also carry 1 of the Tide travel sink packets, just in case I need to wash some clothes while I'm traveling and I don't have access to a washing machine. And then I also carry a couple of these little hair bands. I don't use them, but I find that every once in a while they're kind of nice. I like them even better than rubber bands. So I carry these hair bands. I have them in a variety of different compartments too. So 2 hair bands. And those are the items that I carry in my hygiene compartment. Let's go through the items in my clothes compartment. There's not too many items in this compartment, but I find that all 3 of them that I have in here are useful to have in an urban EDC environment. So the number 1 item I have is a black bandana. Almost everyone carries one of these, and I like having it with me. Next, I carry some work gloves. These are made by DeWalt. They cost around 15 bucks at Home Depot, and it's just always nice to have some work gloves with you. You never know when you're going to need this, whether you're doing some car repair or anything like that, something outside. I just like having them with me. So there's some DeWalt. And then lastly, I carry a Mountain Hardwear dome hat. This is an extremely warm hat. When you put this on, your head is not going to be cold. It's wind resistant. It comes in handy mainly in the winter time, although I guess if I was sleeping outside I would use this as well to keep my head warm. I guess technically you could count the ultralight jacket that I carry in the main body of my EDC bag as part of my clothing compartment, but it's not in this actual Eagle Creek cube. So these are the 3 items in my clothes compartment. Here are the items included in my first aid kit. It's fairly simple. It's an Adventure Medical Kits 0.5 Ultralight Watertight Medical Kit. This is a nice little kit that you could get for under $20. It's extremely lightweight, and it has a lot of the basic supplies that I find that I need for EDC purposes. I'm not going to list off every single thing that's in here, but there's a list provided in the back here, and I'll make sure to include some of that information down in the description. So, besides what the general kit has, I've also added a few extra little things to the baggie, and those things are a tube of Neosporin, always like having this on me at all times. I have 6 Pepto-Bismol, and then I have this little baggie just filled with miscellaneous medications. So I have 8 Motrin, 4 Tylenol PMs, I have some Imodium AD, and some aspirin. And I just fill up these and the Pepto as need be. And that's everything that is included in my medical kit. The last compartment I'd like to go over with you is my survival compartment. This is my least used compartment, and hopefully I don't have to use the majority of these items at any point. But I like having peace of mind knowing that I have it with me. So starting off on the outside here, as you can see, I have a paracord bracelet. I used to carry a whole roll of paracord, and I found that I never used it, not once. So I kind of shrunk it down and just included the paracord bracelet, which gives me a little bit of rope if I really need to have it. Opening it up, by the way, I choose to go with the Eagle Creek quarter cube pack, and I went with a red color here just because for me red looks like emergency. So here's some items. Some of them might seem random to you. The first item I'll go over, this is let's see, this is the Frontier emergency water filter. A lot of you have seen this in other videos. It's just basically a water filtration straw, and I have some hair bands wrapped around it just because I like having hair bands with me. This next item is going to be a little bit random. You've seen it in my previous video. I have some goggles with me, and no, it's not for swimming. I live fairly close to some mountains and volcanoes like Mount Rainier, and I have a slight fear about being caught in some kind of eruption similar to Mount St. Helens. So I have a little volcano disaster kit with me. The first item of that is some eye protection, so I chose these goggles, and then I also have an N95 respirator mask. So this is my volcano survival kit right here. The next item I'll go over is this is the Adventure Medical Kits Emergency Bivy. It's just a small little bivy sack. It's fairly decent quality, so it'll last a few times, and this is kind of goes with my shelter. Going along with shelter, I also have one of these emergency space blankets, so these would be used in conjunction. Next, I also carry an additional Bic lighter. You saw in my office compartment that I carry some gaffer's tape. I also have some duct tape with me as well. This is Gorilla duct tape. I just have a little small box of matches, the inexpensive kind that you get at the dollar store. I also included the Phoenix LD20 lamp that would go with the Phoenix LD20 light. Just put it on the top here and it serves as a lamp. The next item that you see here, I got a Petzl headlamp with me. I don't have the batteries included in it just because this one is not as used as often, so I included the batteries in here in a little baggie. And this is generally used for, I've used it before on the side of the road if I'm having any kind of car problems or looking for something out at night and I don't have, and I just want to be able to have that on my head and use it in conjunction with a flashlight similar to this. And then last but not least, I have some Katadyn water purification tablets, and that kind of pairs along with the water filtration straw. So this is what I have for my survival for water. And those are all the items included in my survival compartment. Alright, so I made it through all the items in my Urban EDC backpack. As you can see, there's quite a bit that I carry in this. I'm not suggesting that you guys carry this many items in your Urban EDCs. This just happens to be what I like carrying for mine. Like with all your EDCs, they're kind of tailor-made to your own specific needs. There's no like standard definition of what an EDC should be. A lot of you might even say that this might be even a get home bag or even a mini bug out bag. But for me, it's just the items I like having in my Urban EDC environment. For those of you wondering, right now it weighs, the last backpack video I made, it weighed between 14 and 15 pounds. This one weighs between 15, 16, maybe 16.5 if I have all the mugs filled. Although oftentimes I don't have those on the backpack at all times. I might be carrying the coffee mug with me, and I might have something like the radio in my pocket. So that the weight fluctuates a little bit. So let's wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this latest Urban EDC Backpack video. Please feel free to leave any kind of comments below in the comments section. And also, if you want, you can download the PDF that has all the items that are included in my Urban EDC Backpack. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Take care.